Wow. It actually did it. I look like shit, but then again, I've been exhausted all day. And I was also in the car for hours. I can't. I was gonna say since 2:14, but I was still at school at 2:14, in a classroom at 2:14. So yeah, this. Where did I redo my hair because school is annoying, and we're gonna see how much schoolwork I can get done without either crying, quote unquote, taking a break, or screaming. Because people these days are just no. Matter of fact, I was still in a classroom at 2:30, and on Thursdays school ends for me at 2:14 because that's when fourth period gets out, and I don't have a seventh period. Wow, how is that possible? We went on lockdown, and we knew it wasn't a drill but it was another fucking stupid thing like the whole entire fake bomb last year. And last year we went on evacuation for hours and then got picked up. But we went on lockdown at 1:55 p.m. and they were like they said we're on lockdown. We need you to lock your doors, close your blinds, and get away from the windows and stay silent. Which because usually when we're on lockdown, it's usually just get in a classroom and lock your doors. That's it. It's literally it. Because so many times when we were in lockdown and I got to school late, they put me in a hallway where the door was literally just all windows. And I sat in that hallway. It was in the S wing and I don't have any classes in the S wing. But it was stupid too because David, we were literally in lockdown, and no matter what, you don't pick up your bags and get out when the bell rings because they disabled the bells when we're on lockdown. And David was getting his stuff together, and the bell didn't ring at 2:14. He's like, "Why aren't we going?" And I'm like, "We're on lockdown." But even with that, my father should still be on time picking us up. He's never was there on time, let alone last year when I poked myself with a ceramics needle this morning. Aside from that, when last year when the whole entire murder was going around, I was at school until past 8 p.m. Yeah, my mom says he doesn't care, and I agree. And I texted my father at 1:56, being a responsible child, telling their parent what's happening. I'm not scared. I've gone through this before, and I survived a shooting at my elementary school. No one died, so I don't specifically have trauma, but there's a little bit of trauma from the teacher asking us to write goodbye notes to our parents. And I sat there crying with a third grader named Jill, and we sat there writing goodbye notes to our mothers. Anyways, I texted my father we're on lockdown and we might be out later. We got told to be quiet, lights off, blinds shut. And this doesn't get said when we normally go do a lockdown. I'm fine. Please don't call the school. Because the last time I asked him to come pick me up during a lunch period. Why? Because we got evacuated. during a lunch period. Now I'm going to say this to start this whole thing off because this whole thing was stupid. I think it was a couple months ago. In January, not in January. And when I was in 10th grade, this whole thing happened, I think, in January. When I was in 10th grade, my hair looks disgusting. Anyways, when I was in 10th grade, there was a safety assembly. And they were talking about like the safety drills and that we're going to have a week of safety drills. What's hilarious is that both my senior year and my junior year, they combined all the safety drills in one day for each period, which was a Wednesday. We evacuated every single day of that week. And none of them was drills. We evacuated the Thursday, Friday, and then the next week was drill week. It was actually just the Wednesday, and we evacuated every single day of that week. Anyways, each drill lasted for over an hour. This drill also lasted for over an hour. So in the safety assembly that we had, one of the things that they mentioned was that they would never do a drill during lunch because it's the safety of the students, because we have an open campus, so you can leave during lunch. So they won't do like a drill during lunch. Now here comes the hilarious part. They did a drill during lunch, and the only reason I'm quoting the drill part is because they called it a "thank you for participating in this very unexpected drill. Please get back to your fourth period classroom. It will only last like 5 minutes, and then seventh period is going to start. On time and continue." 2/3 of the school had already left. Why? Because it was during lunch, and whoever left was not allowed back on campus to get their stuff or whatever. I was in the football field. Called my father, asked him if he can pick me up because I did not want to be there. It was annoying. And everyone was ditching. My whole entire friend group was just ditching. There was no point. First off, the lady said evacuate straight, which it was the Nordstrom parking lot. Straight is off campus. And the lady just kept screaming, "Go straight." So literally everyone just went straight, turned right, and went around the football field and left campus, which I don't know why you would go around the football field, but I literally just watched several people leave campus. And then there was a lady came out, don't listen to her, go into the football field. And we're all like, okay. It was, matter of fact, not a drill. And so me sitting here calling my parent to come pick me up, he turned around and called the school, and the school told him, don't pick any of your kids up. If I was not on school campus and I told my father to pick me up, he wouldn't listen. There was a gas leak because the construction hit a pipe, apparently, and there was a fire near the electrical area that we have. And when we were all back on campus again, intercoms went off and said, "Please, thank you for participating in this very unexpected drill." Yeah, that whole bullshit. It happened during lunch and the drill ended at 2:11. It was a Thursday. School fourth period ends at 2:14. That doesn't make any sense. My father could have also at least left his house, because it takes 17 minutes to get to the school, and he was supposed to get here. He was supposed to leave the house before 2. But what was the most annoyingest thing? I said, lock your doors and move away from the window just got added. And then we got out at 2:32 p.m. I said all of this at 1:56 p.m., by the way. So at 2:35 p.m., I said, never mind, but I was correct. Either or, you should be here on time to pick me up. And he says 1 minute later, I was just told the lockdown was lifted. Are you okay? Question mark. And I said, period. He was not here to pick me up until after 3. And then decides to pick me up and tells me that my dentist appointment got canceled because the doctor called in sick. But Shay's appointment is still up, and we're driving all the way to Sacramento. It was a whole hour drive to just do her thing. And I hated that dentist appointment area. But then again, there's so many dentist appointments to do. And my father was like, this one's got canceled, but they'll call in the next 2 weeks, and your next appointment is probably going to be in June. And you have so many appointments after that. And one of them is going to be in July. And he was like, well, if we didn't get one in June, it was going to be July 30th. And I would have been fine with that. And Shay was like, Rio leaves the 25th of July. And I'm like, huh. He's like, I don't know about that yet. And I'm like, I'll be 18. Anyways, schoolwork. I am going to text my mother. I don't have patience for her, so I'm going to text her just reply. Why? Because it's 9:37 p.m. and I've been sleeping all day and I am exhausted and I want to get this done with. Also, this whole entire project is a personal poem due tomorrow morning, and I also have to have it printed with color. We don't have a printer and we don't have colored ink. And none of my friends are awake anymore. I know, right? It's so great. I was like, Mama, I have to write a personal poem and I need help with 2 things. Question 5 is, when I was little, I blank, but as I've grown older, I've realized blank. And question 6 is, my parents have always told me blank. I texted her that at 10:38 a.m. She's like, at 2:28 p.m., your question box, we need to discuss this tonight. You're taking forever to get home. I said, you're taking forever to get home, and I need the whole thing printed to turn in tomorrow morning. And also, my backpack broke this morning, so I've been using Shay's backpack. Anyways, stupid thing. We now have to get our work signed in every single day. Bro, he used a yellow pen. I don't understand. Whatever. It was our personal poem. These were the questions to answer. My full name is blank, but I like to be called blank. I come from blank and I'm heading to blank. The adjective that best describes me is blank. I love the sound of blank and the smell or the feel of blank. When I was little, I blank, but as I've grown older, I've realized blank. My parents have always told me blank. I am an animal plus description of what you do. If my hands could talk, they would say blank. I have an object plus verb and ending with ing in my heart. Explain why. And then blank, word in bold, is written on my forehead because explain why. This is what I have so far. First, my full name is Rio Patrice Hessling, but I like to be called Rio. I come from a small town, and I'm heading to new beginnings, aka I'm literally moving 3,000 miles away. That was actually thought of by a paraeducator. The adjective that best describes me is creative. I love this is not actually true, but because, well, I don't really give a shit. I love the sound of birds chirping and The smell of honeysuckle and gardenias. Honeysuckle and gardenias are both flowers, and I actually do love the smell of them. When I was little, I blank. My parents have always told me blank. And then my family, the whole animal thing, my family says I'm a butterfly because I am evolving. My friends say I'm a wolf because I stick with other people. My youth group says I'm a badger because I'm fierce. Matter of fact, my youth group says I have the same personality as an enraged badger, which is a very angry badger. Anyways, I say I'm a flamingo because I stand out from all the rest. That's actually what Piper's told me. So, and a paraeducator said I should add that. And then I said if my hands could talk, they would say I enjoy resting. We all freaked out on that. But I actually said something negative because the paraeducator didn't like that. And I was like, I actually said something negative, and then the other paraeducator was like, let's rephrase that. And they're like, oh, what did you say? And I was like, if my hands could talk, they would say that I need they need to stop and they need a break. But she was like, oh, let's rephrase that. I enjoy resting. And he was like, oh, I actually like that. I now have to write that, find images. I already have a couple images, but I'm actually going to scream. So I might mute this and just you can watch me die. I'm also playing music, so because I need life. And yeah, you'll see me kicking. I'm gonna say this one thing. I was going through text message first because people are fucking stupid and annoying. Um, people are so sister group chat. Even though Taylor's not actually her sister, and I actually ranted about Taylor to my mother the other night. Aside from that, we all did. They're not understanding something. So the amount of times that I said I have counseling tomorrow on Friday, it's annoying. They said of going to the mall because my mom said we should go to the mall. And Taylor was like, we could go Friday before the show instead of going downtown. But the thing is, downtown is Davis. The show is in Davis at 7 p.m. and the mall is literally in Fairfield. Here's the whole entire setting of towns: Fairfield, Vacaville, Dixon, Davis. From Davis to Vacaville, it's literally over a 30-minute drive. And the mall is not like, oh, right here because it's Fairfield. No, it's like right here. It's on the other side of Fairfield. It's closer to Sassoon than Vacaville. So we've also driven to the mall before when I was in Dixon, and it's an over an hour drive. So no, going to the mall before the show on Friday does not work. Anyways, she's like, wait, I'd have to go to the mall like right after y'all get out of school because we might change my brother's birthday dinner tomorrow night before our show. Since it's his actual birthday, I got my shift covered. Since I'm on a time crunch tomorrow, let's just do Bohemian. Drop me back off at home to have. Here's another thing. This is why I'm reading this. Since I'm on a time crunch tomorrow, let's just do Bohemian. Drop me back off at home to have my brother's birthday dinner, and then pick me up from my house for the show. We'll go to Fairfield Mall another day. We'll have time before prom. Knowing us, Mom's like, knowing us for real, but Mom probably won't be with us because of work. My father ain't gonna take us to the mall. So it has to be my mom. And then she said, "Yo, Taylor, if we don't end up having time to go to the mall before prom, then you," and then the whole thing about prom. Taylor said she probably won't want to leave the house, blah, 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 blah. But she's still down to do her makeup. And then my mom said, Shay says, "Oh, okay, my mom could just take us then," because she was like, "I'll go to the mall with you." And I'm like, and Taylor's like, "Okay, that still sounds fun. We'll see my mama anyways on the day of prom." Um, and then she's like, "We should go to the Target in Davis." Oh, and then she was like, "Rio, Jake told me Sandy saw your apply form, and she's gonna contact you with interview time/day." And I was like, "Thank you." And she's like, get a hella bonus because I'm referring you and another person." I was like, "Finally." She's like, "Finally." I was like, "I can't go Friday before the show because I have counseling for the 700th time. Mom also has work." Shay, we should go to Saturday morning and not go to Clear Lake because I have to be in Davis by 6:30. Taylor was like, "Rio, if they ask you where you heard about the job, say from me. Shay, are you going to both nights of the show? I wish I could go Saturday's show as well as Friday's show so I can celebrate with Rio and all of the seniors that I don't know well." And I was like, "Of course I'm going to say I heard this job from you." She was like, "You better. I want that bonus money for both referrals. You'll get bonus too if you stay 90 days. I only get the bonus if both my referrals stay 90 days. Are y'all both going to both shows Friday and Saturday?" "I can't go Friday. I have counseling." "I want to support you, Rio, on your senior night and bring you flowers, but I'm covering someone." I was like, "To be honest, I don't trust Mom and Shay going to Clear Lake alone and being back in time. Also, my youth group is literally starting an assassin game that day, and we should go to the mall on that day because it's the only day available for Mom." And they're still saying, "Oh, we're going to Clear Lake." And I'm like, I don't trust you going to Clear Lake because even if Shay's like, "We're leaving at 5:30," it's a 2-hour drive and we have to be back in Davis by 7, before 7, because the show starts at 7. So I'd prefer to be back in Davis by 6:30. We leave at 5. We'll be back in Dixon by 8. Even though it's a 2-hour drive, mountain roads are scary and I'm pretty sure it's going to be raining. Anyways. And I was like, "Do the 90 days count as you're working the 90 days or it counts it off? Counts with off days too. I don't even know if I'll be here for more than 90 days." And then I looked up how many days from now until July 25th of 2024 and it said 91. 91. I was like, "I have a senior night." And she's like, "I believe it's 90 days you work. You might be there less than 90 days because you won't be on boarding until after your interview if my boss likes you. I meant like senior night for theater. I can only hang out tomorrow because I'm taking the day off for the DHS theater show and for my brother's birthday." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not even going to be here for that long because the only reason I'm staying till the 25th is youth camp and kids camp. She's like, okay, I'll just get the bonus for my other referral, which is fine. A bonus is a bonus. And I'm like, Shay can hang out, but y'all have to figure out rides because father will be in Vacaville with me. And she said, okay, Shay, let me know if we're hanging out before the show or just going to the show together. The plan right now is Shay and I will go downtown during the day and then get dropped off at DHS for the show at night. What? Taylor doesn't drive. No one can pick up Taylor. My father is usually her ride. And Rio, are you just going to the show on Saturday? Shay, are you going to Saturday too? And Shay's like, I'm period going period to period clear period lake period Saturday period morning. No period your period not period. For God's sakes. Make sure he knows like it. Shay was like, no, I'm not going to both nights to the show. I'm going Friday with you, Taylor and on Saturday after getting back from Clear Lake, I'll be watching Rio get noticed or whatever. There's a senior night also. Rio, if you could read more of the chats, Mom can take us to the mall prom day probably. She can't take me to the mall. For God's sakes. And I said, I am reading the chats, and y'all are confusing. Mom can't take me to the mall on prom day because I have plans with Chelsea starting 8 a.m. on prom day. For God's sakes, I am so fucking done with these people. But now, truth be told, the fact that we're half in person, half distance is probably one of the only things keeping us together because neither of us can do long distance a long time. I just called it a senior night because it's like theater company recognizes the seniors in theater. Wait. There's no communication between any of us at this point. Even if. She said Shay was like, Ray isn't even in the show. I didn't want to be in the show. Did I audition for the show? No. I also got told I couldn't, and I was literally in Los Angeles the day of auditions. Anyways, I know she's not. What time is it at? Because I can get off early enough, then maybe Shay and Father can get me from work to go with you. It's just Jake working on Saturday, so maybe he'll let me leave early if I give him a valid excuse. I won't say the show because he won't let me go early for that. I've never been more confused in my life. I'm so confused on you not going to both shows, but going to see you get recognized. Y'all, I got a question. Rio, I'm not too worried about you staying the 90 days for us both to get the bonus because I referred two other people that will be more long-term workers. Okay, let me start from square one again about tomorrow's plans. Shay and I will go to downtown at some point tomorrow and hang out there until we need to get picked up to go to DHS. Y'all gonna have to find a ride. Just letting y'all know, I've said that too many times. Saturday, y'all are going to see Wyatt and then going to the theater recognition for seniors. Well, I don't. On my end, then going to organize a thing for the seniors involved in the high school theater. Let me know the time of that, and I'll see the shows. 7 p.m. both nights. Let me know the time of that. I'll see if it's reasonable time that Jake can let me off early. If the show starts at 7 p.m. and it's probably 1 to 2 hours long, which means it'll end around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and I get off of work around 9:45. So if the recognition thing is after the show, then I might be able to go with Shay. Father picked me up from work. It'll end at 8 p.m. It's like, bitch is probably gonna be too tired anyways because I have a busy weekend. The show will end around 8 p.m. Never mind, ignore me. I'm gonna be too tired on Saturday to go anyways. The show's the show. I don't know anyone in it, so I wouldn't see it both nights. So I said this. I said, I am reading the chats, and y'all are confusing. Mom can't take me to the mall on prom day because I have plans with Chelsea starting 8 a.m. on prom day. For God's sakes. Shay, Mom doesn't have money to get you a ticket for both shows. She barely has a job right now. Give her a break. It also might be raining on Saturday. I love how Father thinks he knows everything, yet was the one playing the 200 question game and wasn't even there for the show last year. Even if it was at the end of the show, you're still going to have to pay for your ticket to get in, so there is no point in not being there for the whole show. There's no fucking communication in this family, I swear. Y'all gonna have to find a ride to get picked up to go to DHS. Going to see Wyatt is an extra thing while doing things for prom is more important. The show starts at 7 p.m. both nights. The show is less than an hour long. Why is there confusion on... Oh, it ends at 8 p.m.? Why? There's like a small cast to it too. I'm going to call my mother. because she told me the other day they weren't going to Clear Lake. I was about to scream. Hello?
Hi.
So are you on your way home?
No, I'm trying to finish up the last file here in Winters, and Jessie's keeping me company because, of course, she lives in Winters.
Okay, two things. So
What?
when you're done with the file, can you reply to those messages, because this whole entire thing is literally due tomorrow morning and I have to have it printed with color.
Well, honey, I wanted to discuss it with you because the incident that I remember is like when I was little, but now I've learned blah blah blah, and then something about my parents, right?
Yeah, it was like my parents have always told me this, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, the first thing that popped to my head was when you used to refuse to wear the regular seatbelt around your booster seat, and you would only wear the booster seatbelt. And every time I'd put you in the car seat and then I'd get in the car, you'd take it off. And I wouldn't know it until, a car pulled in front of me and I had to slam on the brakes and you landed in the back of my seat.
We don't talk about that, okay?
Well, see, that's what I said. We got to talk about this at home because that's what comes to my mind. You were a stubborn little cuss. But you learned well, and from then on, you used the car seat belt too. Are you laughing or crying?
Both. Aside from that factor,
that's the only thing I can remember, and it stood out the most prominently because you landed in the middle of my back.
Yeah, and a breakfast jack got all over the backseat of your car.
Yeah, so why did you use that one?
Okay. And aside from that, Shay's still saying we're going to Clear Lake on Saturday. And I literally told her we don't know. And then she put in this Taylor group chat, I'm period going period to period clear period lake period on period Saturday period. And I was like, I thought we discussed this. Because Shay literally said you guys were leaving if you guys go, which I want to come to because I don't trust you people alone, specifically Shay, when she's going to go see her boyfriend in Clear Lake alone. She's like, I was like, so you're leaving at like 4:30? And she's like, no, we're leaving past 5. And I'm like, it takes 2 hours alone to get to Dixon. I have to be in Davis at 6:30. Also, you're sitting here planning to go to the Friday show with Taylor and they're figuring out rides. I was like, you have to find a ride. I have counseling. Father will be with me in Davis, in Vacaville. And you're still saying Father's going to pick you up. No. Shay's also planning to go to the show with Taylor on Friday. And I'm like, okay, so Mom barely has a job. You're going to have to figure out the money on to pay for both shows. Because even if you show up, like, for the quote-unquote recognition that it might happen because I replied to the email of me doing it, you're still going to have to pay to get inside. So there's literally no point in just going for the recognition and not the whole entire show. And I said, give you a break because we have so many things in the future that we need to focus on spending money on and not going to a show that shows twice and you paying for both shows.
Right.
And going to Clear Lake is so extra because you literally said, because Shay needs shoes or something. And you literally said we should go to the prom. We should go to the mall.
Go to the mall.
Yeah. And so I was like, why don't we go to the mall Saturday? Not go to Clear Lake, go to the mall. And then that just makes it easier for going to the show and showing up on time and all that shit. And we got the mall situation done before prom because Taylor was like, knowing us, we have plenty of the time before prom. While prom is literally next weekend, number one, school days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not free on Tuesday, and Friday. Thursday, Wednesday, and Monday, well, correction, all 5 days of that work day, you have work, and Father is not going to take us to a mall. And Sunday, we have plans.
Right.
It just makes sense to go Saturday. And I'm bringing up the text messages because Shay made a comment and told me to how that Shay was like, Rio, read more of the chats. Hold up. I'm actually finding it, sorry. She said, no, I'm not going both nights of the show. I'm going Friday with you, Taylor, and on Saturday after getting back from Clear Lake, I'll be watching Rio get noticed or whatever. There's a senior night. Also, Rio, if you would read more of the chats, Mom can take us to prom, to the mall prom day, probably. And I said, I am reading the chats, and y'all are confusing. Mom can't take me to the mall on prom day because I have plans with Chelsea starting before noon on prom day, for God's sakes. And then I was like, Shay, Mom doesn't have money to get you a ticket for both shows. She barely has a job right now. Give her a break. It also might be raining on Saturday. The reason why I said it also might be raining is because clouds are already coming in today.
Got it.
And it's like, huh?
It was sprinkling a little bit earlier.
Sorry for allowing you to watch me rant.
It's all right. I was just having a little bit of quiet time with Mother.
Well, sorry.
There's a reason why I visited her at work.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
But too bad.
Yeah.
Love you too. This is what having sisters is like.
Yeah, you forget I wasn't the one that signed up for it.
Yeah. Well, too bad. Teehee.
You had your phone said I knit and I didn't listen. You guys were being planned on. I was just trying to be Mother's.
Mother's favorite, of course. And then I was like, give it up. I was reading. And then Father was like, Rio's not even in the show. I don't know. The whole entire recognition is supposed to happen after the show. And I was like, I love it how Father thinks he knows everything, yet he was the one playing the 200 question game and wasn't even there for the show last year. Even if it was at the end of the show, you're still going to have to pay for your ticket to get in. So there is no point not being there for the whole show. And then I was like, there's no fucking communication with this family. As into, you communicate one way, someone else communicates another way, and it's like, I've talked to Mom about the whole entire situation with you wanting to go to Clear Lake on Saturday, and we were talking. And now Shay is still saying, oh, I talked to Mama. We're still going to Clear Lake on Saturday. And I'm like, what? And then I was like, y'all are going to have to find a ride to get picked up to go to DHS. Because Taylor has said so many times talking about rides and doing this whole entire plan, I was like, I have counseling on Friday. I'm not going to be there. And then I was like, going to see Wyatt is an extra thing, while doing things for prom is more important. The show starts at 7 p.m. both nights. The show is less than an hour long, because Taylor was like, the show will end at 8 p.m.? ? Yes. Yeah.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Did you get it out of your system?
Yeah, but my brain is too confusing. Because Miss Bruce literally assigned this fucking... I should read you the poem that I have so far. Okay. So it was a whole entire, like, questionnaire template thing, and I was going to go off the template because that's just stupid, and I don't know what the fuck to put for that. So I said, my full name is Rio Patrice Hessling, but I like to be called Rio. I come from a small town and heading to new beginnings. A paraeducator thought of that. The adjective that describes me the adjective that best describes me is creative. I love the sound of birds chirping and the smell of honeysuckle and gardenias. And then the question of when I was little, I blank, and then my parents have always told me blank. And then the whole entire animal, what animal are you and why? I literally asked 7 people, and I only put the positive ones. And then I asked my youth group because Miss Bridge told me to ask my youth group. And so many of them said I added the badger part, but Sushi said that I have the personality and very similar, like just everything to an enraged badger.
Well, I have a nicer one for you.
What?
I think you're more like a ring-tailed lemur.
Piper said or a lemur.
Mm-hmm. Actually said that you're a lemur.
Piper was like, or a lemur, and Caitlin, I think it's another Caitlin. She's younger, or I don't know. Someone else said you give off capybara energy.
No, you don't provide capybara energy.
No, I don't.
No,
my friend group. What?
You know who does?
You or Jesus.
Jesus.
I feel like
capybara energy.
I feel like if he was an actual capybara, he would be the one where you would walk into the house, like in the kitchen, and he's just sitting there dancing.
No, capybaras they don't dance. They just sort of sit there and chill and just let the rest of nature just kind of happen around them. They're sloths without the trees. Yes. They're a giant rodent. They're semi-aquatic.
I asked everyone, and I just tried putting things together, and I was like, my family says I'm a butterfly because I'm involving. Father actually originally said that I was a butterfly because I experienced change well, and I don't think that's true. And a paraeducator was like, don't say experience change well because that sounds weird. Just say you're evolving. And I'm like, okay. And then my friends say I'm a wolf because I stick with other people. Chelsea actually said that I was a koala because I pick one person and stick with them.
See, I don't think that's wolf. I think that's lemur.
Yeah, I don't think it's a wolf either. I was like, but wolves are very much independent.
Yeah, they very much can be. But yeah, they must stick together.
I changed it to lemur.
Yeah.
And then I just said entitled of my, because I was like, okay, I can use the badger part, but I need you to like think of a positive thing or else Miss Bridge is going to tell me to rewrite this whole entire thing and I am not about to do that. And he was like, you're a badger because you're fierce. So I was like, my youth group says I'm a badger because I'm fierce. And then Piper was like, I think you're a flamingo because you stand out from all the rest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I was like, I added that. I said, I say I'm a flamingo because I stand out from all the rest. And I'm terrified Miss Bruce to see this because she's probably like, that's going to be too long for a line. But all the paraedgers read it and they said, you should add that part. I like it. And then it said, if my hands could talk, that they would say. And then I was like, we need to stop. I need to take a break. And a paraeducator was like, that's not positive. I'm going to rewrite it. I enjoy resting. And the paraeducator first looked at that and was like, I don't Why? And I was like, well, I first said something negative, but then they rewrote it to that. They're like, oh, what did you say? So I said it, and they're like, oh, I actually like that.
Hey, Rio.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Have a good night.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. Drive safe. There's a lot of traffic out there. Yeah, I'm not liking all the motorheads. Love you, Mom. Love you too, baby. Bye. Bye.
Love you, middle-aged woman.
Love you. Bye, Rio.
Bye. Yes. Okay, love you.
We'll take your sister to Clear Lake because we won't be going up there the next 2 weeks after that.
Huh?
I said I probably will take your sister to Clear Lake because we won't be going up there the 2 weeks.
Yeah, but we also need to go to prom.
Yeah, I know, prom.
Not prom. We also need to go to the mall.
Yeah, I know.
Are we just gonna leave Carrie's house early?
So we're not going to Carrie's because the girls are sick and throwing up.
Oh.
I needed to do my taxes. Yeah, that.
Can I go to Clear Lake with? Because I honestly don't trust Shay going up there to see her boyfriend. They're like, oh, we can just skip the whole entire thing. No. I'm coming too.
Really?
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
As I'm literally saying, there's no communication with this family. When I was little, I never used a seatbelt. Except the car seat seatbelts. But when I grow old, yeah, I'll do that. Okay. I'm actually going to scream and cry. So, I'm ending this. End.